Hey, quick question. How old are you? 25, 30? Maybe you lied and said 29 for the fifth year running? Cool, 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 cool. Now imagine being 4.5 billion years old. That's Earth. That's our landlord. And honestly, given everything it's been through, asteroid hits, ice ages, mass extinctions, I'm surprised it's not charging us more in rent. Today, we're going on a full tour of Earth's history, all 4.5 billion years, in about 12 minutes. So buckle up because we're skipping the boring parts. Just kidding, none of it is boring, and hitting every crazy moment from the birth of our planet to you, sitting here watching this video. Let's go. About 4.6 billion years ago, our solar system was just a giant spinning cloud of gas and dust. Think of it like a cosmic washing machine. Gravity pulled everything together and boom, the sun ignited. The leftover debris. It started clumping, crashing, merging violently, and after millions of years of absolute chaos, a rocky little planet formed in what scientists call the Goldilocks zone. Not too hot, not too cold, just right. That planet was Earth, and at this point, she was not cute. The surface was basically a lava ocean, volcanoes everywhere, no atmosphere you could breathe, meteors raining down like the universe was trying to return a bad delivery. And then, about 4.5 billion years ago, something catastrophic happened. A Mars-sized object called Theia smashed directly into Earth, a full-on planetary collision. The impact was so violent that a huge chunk of Earth was blasted into orbit. That debris slowly came together to form our moon. So yes, the moon is basically Earth's scar from a bad breakup, a constant reminder orbiting us every 27 days. Romantic, honestly. Okay, so now we have a molten rock planet and a moon. Cool. But where did all the water come from? Here's where it gets wild. Scientists believe a lot of Earth's water was delivered by comets and asteroids, basically space snowballs crashing into us for millions of years. The universe was playing delivery driver, and the package was an ocean. By around 4 billion years ago, Earth had cooled enough for water vapor to condense into liquid, and the first global ocean formed. The whole planet, covered in water, no land, no beaches, no annoying tourists, just water. Now, this is also around the time scientists believe something incredible happened, the first spark of life. We're talking single-celled organisms, no brain, no heart, no feelings, basically your average 3 AM version of yourself. These tiny microbes didn't need oxygen. They survived in a world of volcanic vents and toxic seas. They were basically the ultimate survivors, and they'd been here for over 1 billion years before anything interesting happened. Okay, story time. Big twist. About 2.4 billion years ago, a type of bacteria called cyanobacteria figured out photosynthesis. They started absorbing sunlight and CO2 and releasing oxygen. Sounds great, right? Wrong. Or, well, it depends who you are. See, at this time, the entire atmosphere was built for life that didn't need oxygen, and suddenly these little bacteria are pumping oxygen into the air like nobody's business. The oxygen built up, and it was toxic to most life on Earth at the time. This event is called the Great Oxidation Event, also known informally as the first mass extinction. Cyanobacteria basically farted out oxygen and killed most of the life on Earth, and then Earth rewarded them by becoming the foundation of the atmosphere that we breathe today. Moral of the story, sometimes disrupting the status quo looks like a disaster at first. Then it becomes the reason everything thrives. Also, don't mess with bacteria. They've already won one. Fast forward to about 700 million years ago, something went wrong. Like really catastrophically wrong. Earth froze completely, from the poles all the way to the equator, a mile of ice covering the entire surface. Scientists call this Snowball Earth. And we don't mean a chilly winter, we mean if you were standing on the equator, it would feel like Antarctica today, except worse. Because there's no Antarctic research station with warm soup. How did we survive? Volcanoes. Again, volcanoes kept erupting under the ice, pumping CO2 into the air. Eventually, the greenhouse effect kicked in, the ice melted, and Earth thawed out. And then life exploded. After hundreds of millions of years of basically nothing but microbes, suddenly, multicellular life. Complex organisms, things with shapes. Earth came out of its ice age and immediately went through the biggest growth spurt in history. Imagine being frozen for millions of years and waking up like, okay, time to make some animals. About 541 million years ago, we hit what scientists call the Cambrian explosion. In evolutionary terms, this was fast. Like shockingly fast, maybe 20 million years, which in geological time is basically a long weekend. Suddenly, eyes appeared, shells appeared, legs, claws, fins. The ocean went from a quiet library to a full-blown chaos market. Creatures like trilobites, ancient worms, bizarre spiky things that look like rejected concept art, all showing up at once. And one of them, a small, soft, unsegmented worm-like creature, had a flexible rod running down its back. That rod, the earliest ancestor of a spine, that little guy, that's your great-great-great, multiply by 1,000,000 grandmother. You are descended from a worm. Own it. For hundreds of millions of years, all life was in the ocean. Then, about 375 million years ago, something audacious happened. Fish started growing legs, not all at once. Gradually, fins became limb-like, creatures started hauling themselves onto land. The first amphibians waddled ashore, breathing air, looking confused, and honestly, same. Plants had already colonized the land by this point. Forests were growing, insects were buzzing around. The stage was set. And then came the reptiles, then the dinosaurs. Oh yes, we're getting there. About 230 million years ago, dinosaurs appeared, and they ran this planet for 165 million years. To put that in perspective, humans have existed for about 300,000 years. Dinosaurs had us beat by a factor of 500. They were massive. They were terrifying. They were everywhere, from tiny feathered raptors to the long-necked Brachiosaurus to the absolute menace that was the T-Rex. The T-Rex, by the way, had arms so short it couldn't scratch its own face, which is hilarious. The most feared predator in history, and it couldn't even high-five itself. Evolution is undefeated. Then, about 66 million years ago, a 6-mile-wide asteroid hit what is now Mexico. The Chicxulub impactor, it vaporized on impact, triggered global fires, sent a cloud of debris that blocked the sun for years. The food chain collapsed. Temperatures plummeted. About 75% of all species on Earth went extinct, including most of the dinosaurs. The ones that survived, small, feathered dinosaurs, the ancestors of birds. So technically, birds are dinosaurs. The pigeon that stared at you eating lunch last week? Dinosaur. The chicken in your biryani? Dinosaur. You're welcome for that. With the dinosaurs gone, small furry mammals finally had room to breathe, to grow, to diversify. Over tens of millions of years, they spread across the planet. Whales went back into the sea, primates climbed into the trees, and slowly, One branch of primates started walking upright, losing fur, and developing bigger brains. About 300,000 years ago, Homo sapiens appeared in Africa. Modern humans, us. And what did we do with all this potential with 4.5 billion years of cosmic setup? We painted on cave walls, we figured out fire, we built tools, we told stories, we formed communities, we invented agriculture about 10,000 years ago, which led to cities, which led to civilizations, which led to empires, which led to the internet, which led to YouTube, which led to you watching this video 4.5 billion years. Asteroid impacts, ice ages, mass extinctions, lava planets. And here you are, watching a video about it on your phone. I find that genuinely beautiful. So let's recap. Earth started as a violent, molten rock, got smashed by another planet, grew an ocean from space deliveries, invented life in a toxic soup, froze solid, thawed, blew up with complexity, crawled onto land, ruled by dinosaurs for 165 million years, got hit by an asteroid, gave mammals their shot, and eventually produced you. Every single one of us is the result of an unbroken chain of survival going back 4 billion years. Not one of your ancestors, not one, failed to survive long enough to reproduce through ice ages, extinctions, and literal asteroid strikes. So next time you're having a rough day, just remember, you come from a long, long line of things that didn't give up. That's pretty incredible. If you made it this far, thank you. Genuinely. Drop a comment telling me which era you'd visit if you had a time machine. I'm going Cambrian. Worms and chaos sound like my kind of party. Like if you learned something. Subscribe if you want more of this, and I'll see you in the next one.